has its own na also. So ka varga, ka, kha, ga, gha, nya, nga. Ang wala jo note, that is ka varga. Then uske aage there is cha varga. So cha, cha, ja, jha, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Nya or something. ऐसे ऊपर टच करके यूज करते हैं. देन नेक्स्ट उसके आगे आता है पैलेटल्स, जिसमें अपने जीप का आगे वाला पुरला पहले पे टच करते हैं. ट ठ ड ध ण is easy to pronounce. And then there are the dentals, जिसमें आप जीप पे दांत पे मारते हैं. त थ ड ध न. And then there is pavarga, this pa wala varg, which is labials, which you pronounce through lips. Pa, pha, ba, bha. So where is this written? This is written in the back side, the last page of, the back portion of any big Prabhupada, Sanskrit pronunciation guide. So what is the special with this pa varga? Or out of all these vargas, what is the special with this pa varga? It has a deep meaning also. It's not just pa pa ba ba ba, but it has a meaning. Pa stands for parishrama, hard work, very hard labor. In this world, if you want to achieve anything, you have to work very hard. For which all of us are very lazy. We don't want to work hard because we are part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna does not work. He does not work. He just enjoys with the gopis and his powerful friends and other devotees. He does not have to go to office 10 o'clock, come back, and do some job, nothing like that. So, being part and parcel of Krishna, we also have this nature of not working hard. But somehow we have been sent in this material world, so we'll have to work hard. There's no other option to that. So in this world, to get anything, you need to work extremely hard. But even that also, Krishna has made the system very simple. He has given a very simple life. He has given some land. He has given also rains. So you sow some seeds, grow some crops. You have some trees and all. You make a house and all with that, and mud, etc. for constructing house. So he has made very simple arrangements so that a person can live his life very simply without making it so much complicated. But as slowly the human civilization passes, the yugas progress, the civilization becomes more and more complicated. Why? Because of greed to accumulate more. परिश्रम का ये एक quality है that one wants to accumulate more and more and more. Only when you want to accumulate more than what you require, you have to do parishram. Otherwise, just for maintaining the body, but does not work. One need not work so much. Human race is the only species which works so much only to maintain the body, because you want to maintain the body in a very sophisticated way. रोटी अरेंज करना आसान मतलब मुश्किल नहीं है, but butter roti arrange करना बहुत मुश्किल. Then same goes for everything. So simple clothes पहनना ज़्यादा arrange करना ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है, but if one wants fancy clothes every day कुछ नया नया एक बार पहनेंगे दूसरी बार नहीं पहनेंगे, so then that gets difficult. So while we see none of the animals, none of other species, they have to work so much hard for just for roti kapda makan. They don't work so much hard. They also have some physical efforts which they have to put, but at least ऐसा कुछ तो सुनने में नहीं आता कि mentally they are very stressed or depressed. They are some psychologists और ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं लगता. So in that sense, humans are kind of पीछे हैं जानवर, है ना? So Krishna has given every sufficient for everybody's need, but not for even one man's greed. Gandhi said. So when that greed takes over a person and one wants to accumulate more and more, so this leads to cutthroat competition. Otherwise, there is no need for any kind of competition. Then cutthroat competition starts at various levels. Probably एक क्लास में कुछ स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में, वहाँ से लेके एक सिटी के बीच में, और states, nations, and everyone is competing for various things. So let's say in IIT. So IIT, if as a principle of Jivo Jivasya Jivanam stands in this material world, if I am sitting in a class in IIT Dhanbad, it means somebody else is not sitting. Just if अगर मैंने वो एग्जाम नहीं दिया होता, somehow बीमार पड़ गया, मिस कर गया, तो जो भी टॉप 14,000 है जो भी सिलेक्ट हुआ था IIT के लिए, उसमें से नीचे से जो है एक आ जाता है ऊपर और वो बैठ जाता है। So if I am sitting, it means somebody else is not sitting. Same goes for placement. अगर कोई कंपनी आती है प्लेसमेंट लेने के लिए देने के लिए इन कॉलेज, तो वो सोच जाती है कि ठीक है हम 4-5 लोग को लेके जाएंगे, अगर बहुत खराब बच्चे मिले तो कम से कम 2-3 को तो लेके जाएंगे, बिकॉज रिलेशनशिप हैज टू बी मेंटेन। बट वही बात है कि those 2 or 3 fellows who got selected, अगर वो सिलेक्ट हुए हैं इसका मतलब है कि और बाकी 2-3 लोग या बहुत सारे लोग सिलेक्ट नहीं हुए। ऐसा नहीं है कि दे ऐसा कोई एब्सोल्यूट बेंचमार्क नहीं होता है सिलेक्ट करने का, रिलेटिव होता है, जो बेस्ट मिल गए 2-3 लोग से उठा ली। तो जीवो जीवन से जीवन, दिस कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन इज very much evidently visible in this material world. But the foolish jiva does not realize that actually he needs very less to sustain himself. And even though he may accumulate more, बड़े में दोनों पड़े हुए हैं, तो बड़ा सा मैंशन है, बड़ा सा बंगला है, उसमें 40 रूम है, मतलब 20-30 रूम्स है, और कहीं एक किसी रूम में कोने में दोनों पड़े हुए हैं। So how much are they able to enjoy? Probably 6 feet by 4 feet. That's it. What's the use of so much of land? No need. Na? Prabhupada also says that person works very hard, but ultimately at the end of the day, when he comes back in the evening, then he eats probably 2 chapatis, 4 chapatis, and goes to sleep. That's it. So just by accumulating more, it does not increase our capacity. आता है वहाँ बहुत सी घास होती है, मास्टर में जाके खा लो, तो जाके खाने लगता है, उसे लगता है कि ये घास किसने दिया, तो मास्टर ने दिया। बट ही सो फुलिश ही कैन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि ये घास मास्टर ने नहीं दिया, घास तो पहले से थी, मैं खुद भी आके खा सकता हूँ, आई कैन लीव दिस द सबऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ दिस मास्टर एंड एंजॉय द ग्रास, बट ही डज नॉट डू दैट, ही इज सो फुलिश। दैट्स व्हाई व्हेन वी वांट टू कर्स समवन एज फुलिश वी टेल गधा है क्या, बिकॉज ही एक्ट्स सो फुलिशली। So cutthroat competition is there, parishrama, and even we'll see that this cutthroat competition may enter. See what happens is after being devotees for a few years, especially boys heavily trained devotees practicing for 7 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, we may not have that desire for sense gratification, as in gross sense gratification. I want to enjoy a particular gadget, I want to enjoy some nice clothes, some nice jewelry or anything. But then there may be a desire to enjoy on a subtle level, or there may be some kind of basically this cutthroat competition can enter devotee circle also. How? Let's say somebody was given some particular service to be done, some department, and then later on that devotee is removed and he grew that department very nicely, बहुत अच्छा ग्रो किया उसने, और बाद में उसको हटा दिया, somebody else was put. Now the new person who has come, new devotee, उसके मन में एक फियर रहेगा कि मुझे इस डिपार्टमेंट को एटलीस्ट जितना है उससे नीचे तो लेके नहीं जाना है, वेरी मच फियरफुल है ना, उससे ऊपर लेके जाएंगे, मेंटेन कर रखेंगे, ऊपर लेके जाएंगे, नीचे तो कम से कम नहीं लेके जाए। सो दिस इज गुड इन द सेंस कि हाँ प्रभुपाद को लॉस होगा, ISKCON सोसाइटी को लॉस होगा, बट इफ यू गो एंड डीप टू आवर हार्ट एंड इंट्रोस्पेक्ट विल रियलाइज कि इससे भी ज़्यादा बड़ा जो रीज़न है कि कोई डिपार्टमेंट नीचे नहीं जाना चाहिए, वो ये है कि मेरा क्या हो, मेरा नाम क्या हो, मेरा नाम बदनाम हो जाए, लोग क्यों करेंगे, इतना अच्छा चल रहा था इसको दे दिया, डुबा दिया पूरा। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द मेजर रीजंस व्हाई वी डोंट वांट दैट डिपार्टमेंट टू गो डाउन। सो एंड लाइक दिस देयर इज envy and cutthroat competition which enters devotee circles also. But we should understand that we should give our best, and everyone has their own. Rajsham was telling just a few days ago. I guess all of you also must have heard that class, but I heard just a couple of days back. It was a AIVPM meeting. So in that he was telling that everyone has a ceiling and a potential. Everyone has a potential and a ceiling. मतलब करने की क्षमता है और फिर एक क्षमता की लिमिट भी है. So one should do as per his potential. One should not be lazy. But then one has to realize कि एक लिमिट भी है उसका. So if somehow I'm able to perform less than some particular devotee, then I should not feel any envy towards him, or I should not feel that he is my competitor. अरे वो तो आगे निकल गया, मैं तो पीछे रह गया. So आगे निकलने का और पीछे निकलने का जो डेफिनेशन है वो बहुत ही superficial है, if we think like that. The parameters on which should we judge ourselves are humility, tolerance, gratitude, desire to please, genuinely please Vaishnavas, desire to purely chant holy name attentively, desire to serve future master. This should be the parameters with which we judge ourselves, whether we are progressing or not. Or Prabhupada also has told that the test of advancement in Krishna consciousness is how much one is detached from sex life. So this is also a good parameter to judge. But we judge from various other parameters. Yeah, once upon a time I was a voice devotee, then I became a voice manager, project manager, then I became a temple president, then I became a GBC, then I became Prabhupada only for. So these are not the parameters to judge whether we are progressing in Krishna consciousness or not. So that's why we should not be we should not fall under inferiority complex, even though we may be able to perform less than other devotees in our duty side. There is no need for any kind of inferiority complex, and there is no need, and this only leads to if somebody falls to inferiority complex, then this only leads to that external validation. जो राजशंकर को बता रहे थे कलकत्ता में इस बार, the devotees look for external validation. How am I progressing in bhakti? See, I grew this department nicely. Am I progressing nicely or not? ये दोनों म्यूचुअली एग्जॉस्टिव है, सेट्स दोनों एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड नहीं है. डिपार्टमेंट ग्रो करना अलग चीज़ है, आपका भक्ति में ग्रो होना दोनों अलग चीज़ है. यस, if you grow the department nicely, you get a lot of more departments, you get a lot more service, but getting more service is not advancement in Krishna consciousness. Getting more service is an opportunity to advance more in Krishna consciousness. So how do we utilize that opportunity? That will decide how much we progress. So we should make sure that this parishrama should not enter our lives, should not enter devotees circle. Otherwise, then lot of problems come. So in outside world, when people work for whole life, so they have a fear. They have a fear कि अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, अगर मैं जेई नहीं निकाल पाया तो चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, अगर मेरा सैलरी प्रमोशन इस बार नहीं हुआ तो चार लोग क्या कहेंगे. सो we should not bring in DOT सर्कल. अगर मेरा डिपार्टमेंट ग्रो नहीं कर पाया तो सब डिवोटीज मुझे किस नज़र से देखेंगे, दिस शुड नॉट हैपन. क्योंकि ऐसा है कि चार लोग जो है वो हम वी मे स्पेंड आवर होल लाइफ वरिंग अबाउट चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द लाइफ चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, राम नाम सत्य है, केवल वही बोलेंगे चार लोग और कुछ नहीं. बट दिस चार लोग आर सच स्कैम्स. पूरे जीवन जब वो व्यक्ति कुछ कर सकता था जो भी चला गया, तब उसको कभी नहीं बोले कि राम नाम सत्य है. तब उसको बोलेंगे कि IIT जेई सत्य है, तब नौकरी छोकरी सत्य है, बीवी बंगला सत्य है, बड़ा बैंक बैलेंस सत्य है. But now when he's dead, now we cannot do anything. Then they will tell Ram Nam Satya. And those four scamsters also, when they also get out of the this क्या बोलते हैं जहाँ जलाते हैं क्रेमेटेरियम, वहाँ पे भी जाके आप उसको बोलो भगवत डालेंगे, बोले अरे अभी कहाँ, अभी समय कहाँ है. तो यही बोले समय नहीं है, देखो उसके पास भी नहीं था, तुम्हारे पास भी नहीं है. बट स्टिल दे विल नॉट अग्री, दे विल देमसेल्व्स नॉट, वो खुद भी नहीं सुधरेंगे, दूसरे को भी नहीं सुधरने देंगे. सो दिस इज प वर्ग फर्स्ट, परिश्रम, हार्ड एंडेवर, हार्ड लेबर. एंड व्हेन वन एंडेवर्स वेरी हार्ड, then what happens? Pha means pain. The pain comes, the foam comes out of the mouth. Foam represents a huge amount of bodily inconveniences and mental disturbances because of such hard labor. So that pain comes. And then Ba stands for vyarthata. Prabhupada probably Bengali में बोल रहे हैं, vyarthata means vyarthata, waste, useless. So whenever first we did some parishrama, and we also went through that pain stage, but somehow or other we got some material gain to enjoy, something we got, you know? So whatever we have got, even that also gives very less amount of satisfaction, or it gives sense gratification or pleasure only for less amount of time. After that it becomes vyartha, useless. We don't pay any heed to it. Does not give any pleasure anymore. How many of us have, at least I have, yes, some of the movies even I can remember now. All the songs, 6-7 जो भी movie के songs थे, all of them I heard for like nights together. ऐसा रात को 10 बजे चालू किया, सुबह 7 बजे तक सुन लूप पे पूरी रात भर नहीं से. But then how long did that last? Probably for 1 day, 2 day, 1 week. After that, those same songs became very irritating. We need something else. But that's not the case with Hare Krishna Mahamant. So many decades, many of the senior devotees, they are hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamant, the same few 4-5 tunes and so on. But every time it gives so much of bliss. Same goes for any other type of sense gratification. Be it any particular type of food which you make, or movies, or any particular joke. How much can we laugh? Let's say now, His Krishna Prabhu, he goes to any house program. So he has standard 4 or 5 sets of jokes which he speaks. So it gets very difficult for us to laugh on that honestly. But then, as sincere followers, we need to support also, because it is first, and it's not a problem because it is first time for the audience. For the audience, it is first time. But now I guess for audience also it may be become a little old, क्योंकि मैं देखता हूँ कई बार कुछ जैसे अभी हमारा कोई एग्जिस्टिंग डोनर है, वो एग्जिस्टिंग डोनर किसी और डोनर से कनेक्ट कराता है. ऐसा मैं चेहरे से कुछ लोगों को देखता हूँ कि हाँ भाई ये नया हाउस रो है, बट फिर भी वो आया है, प्रोबेबली इसने कनेक्ट कराया हो. तो वो जो आया है उसने 2-3 बार सुना हुआ है ना, तो वो समझ जाएगा यार इसका मतलब मेरे घर में भी जब आए थे पहली बार तो तभी सेम ही जोक बोले थे, है ना. So how much pleasure can any of the sense gratification give us? No, not much. So vyartha. So very soon the object of sense gratification, the material gain that we have got, will turn into vyartha. So pa stands for parishrama, pa is pain, ba is vyartha. Vyartha means vyartha. Ba, frustration. One becomes frustrated. And ultimately, this body itself becomes useless. So one becomes frustrated with the body. One becomes very morose. Ultimately, one has to be. Then next comes bha, bhaya. Bha stands for bhaya. Pa, bha, ba, bha. Bha is bhaya. Bhaya of what? Bhaya of losing whatever we have got. अभी तो जितना है ना. तो अब जैसे we don't carry any Lakshmi, so we can peacefully at the dead of the night roam around on the roads, no problem. कोई आएगा भी तो क्या करेगा, वो थप्पड़ मारेगा, देखेगा पैसा नहीं, छोड़ देगा. But when there is Lakshmi, Suman Paul will realize he has to transact lakhs of rupees or cash deposit करना, ये करना. So how much arrangements he has to do. Probably he can take a some गंदा सा ऐसा बोरा लेके, ऐसा वो गंदा पैंट शर्ट वैसा फटा फुटा पहन के ऐसे जा सकते हैं. तो कोई लगेगा कि कोई ऐसा कोयला ले जाने वाला है, तो nobody will, कोई परेशान नहीं करेगा. बट सो मच ऑफ फियर इज देयर, बिकॉज चलो एक टाइम पर अगर अपना लक्ष्मी होता है तो फिर भी व्यक्ति सोचता है कि हटा गया, अब मेरा ही तो था, गया तो गया. बट अगर ISKCON का लक्ष्मी है, किसी और का लक्ष्मी है, तो और ज्यादा फियरफुल होता है व्यक्ति कि कैसे सबमिट करेंगे इसको. सो व्हेन यू हैव समथिंग यू हैव फियर. So living entity in this material world is always miserable when he does not have something, but he wants that, so he keeps on hankering, craving, चाहिए 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 चाहिए. जब आ जाता है तो डर में रहता है, चला जाएगा चला जाएगा चला जाएगा चला जाएगा, और जब चला जाता है तो इसे चला गया चला गया चला गया चला गया चला. So in any of the situation he is not happy. So initially he is hankering, then he is very fearful, bhaya, and then he is lamenting. So fear, lamentation and hankering, इसी तीनों में वो जंप और हॉप करता रहता है बार बार अलग अलग चीजों को. So this bha stands for bhaya, and then ultimately mrityu, death, which is inevitable, that comes to the soul. And so Radheshyam Prabhu was giving us a wonderful analogy. He told that once there was a man, he was having 4 wives. So that man got diagnosed with a disease, and he got to know that he's going to die after a few years. So that man went to all the 4 wives one by one, and he asked the question. So he went to the 4th wife first and asked. So he went to the first one first, and he asked, "You see, I have been diagnosed with disease. So will you come with me after death? When I die, will you come together with me? साथ में चलेंगे, अब तक साथ में रहे, आगे भी साथ में रहेंगे." Then that wife told, "Oh, no, I am not going to come with you. As soon as you die, I will leave you." Okay. अच्छा. Then that man got nervous. He went to the second wife. He told, "Okay, will you come with me after that?" Then the second wife told, "Oh, I'm not going to come with you either. I will be, uh, there with you for some time, but as soon as you pass away, उसके कुछ समय बाद I will go. Not will stay with you for long." Then he went goes to third wife. Then his third wife he asked, "Will you come with me?" So they told, "Okay, we will come with you up to the crematorium ground. After the crematorium ground is done, we will leave you. I will leave you." Then he went to the fourth wife, and then that fourth wife told, "Yes, I'll be there with you." So what are these wives? The first wife is the material body. As soon as a person dies, the body is perished. Yeah, right. So definition ये है of death, the material body चला जाना. So the first wife goes immediately in. Then the second wife is some possessions and the wealth which we have. So that may be there with us for some time. But when we leave, after that it will after that it will go to somebody else, basically the successors, or as the government will take. Just like this Pune example which I was giving, the businessman who was having 40 bungalows, he he actually, some devotees went and asked for some तो gave him a proposal कि आपके पास 40 बंगले हैं, उसमें से एक तो भगवान को दे दो, और कोई आपका बेटा नहीं, कोई वारिस नहीं, कुछ नहीं, क्या करेंगे 40, एक तो दे दो. तो बोलता है हाँ, सोच के बताएंगे, सोच के बताएंगे, सोच के बताएंगे. और ऐसा 2-3 बार उसने टाला, और उसके 2 महीने बाद वो हस्बैंड वाइफ दोनों मर गए. दोनों बूढ़े थे, 80+ 85 आसपास, दोनों मर गए. एंड देन ऑल दोस 40 बंगलोज went to the government. Such a loss. So it will go to somebody else. Then the third wife is the family and friends. Those family and friends, they may accompany, just like wife will accompany up to the door. Then other relatives, son and all, they will accompany up to the crematorium. But after crematorium, they will also come. All the relatives will come, give their attendance, keep quiet, stand for some time, cry a couple of years, and then leave. That's the maximum that we can do for us. And in fact, they will forget also very soon. When there was one neighbor of mine, very good friend, just 1 year younger to me. So his father was very stout bodybuilder. His father, right from his own 12th standard up to his son's 12th standard, for so many years, he every day went to gym without fail. Even on the day of Diwali and all, he will go to gym. एकदम बॉडी वॉडी देखे तो मसल जबरदस्त. साउथ इंडियन थे, तो हाइट ऐसा, बॉडी ऐसा थे. तो जो ऐसा क्रश करने वाला ऐसा आता है, जो भी होता है दबाने वाला, क्या बोलते हैं, ग्रिपर शायद बोलते हैं उसको. वो तो एकदम ऐसा, वो 4-5 दिन में उसे दबा दबा एकदम रबर बैंड जैसा करके आपको दे देंगे. सच पावरफुल. बट सडनली वन डे ही वेंट टू आवर our society's temple. हमारी सोसाइटी में एक टेम्पल रहता है, and he was attending that Saturday satsang. Every Saturday there is Sundarkand which happens. So he went there, he sat as usual, and he was alone. Sometime alone means family में से कोई नहीं था, बाकी तो और बहुत सारे लोग थे मंदिर में, बट फैमिली से कोई नहीं था. So for some time he sat, and suddenly he became unconscious. किसी को समझ नहीं आया क्या हुआ, कुछ भी ऐसा, कुछ धक्का लगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, suddenly became unconscious. ऐसा भी नहीं कि बहुत crowded है, suffocation, कुछ नहीं. तो बाकी सारे लोग तुरंत उसे उठा के हॉस्पिटल लेके गए, घर वालों को कॉल किया, तुरंत हॉस्पिटल आओ, कुछ दिक्कत नहीं है. तो डॉक्टर ने बोला उनको ब्रेन हेमरेज. So brain hemorrhage has happened, so operation has to be done. So this was somewhere around 12 midnight, and operation started. Everyone was in great tension. Then around 3 बजे तक operation खत्म हुआ, and doctor told कि operation एकदम successfully हो गया, सब कुछ ठीक है, everything is now fine, and हम इनको बस कुछ देर रुक जाने दें. हम सुबह 6-7-8 बजे, हम 8-9 बजे आसपास ब्रेकफास्ट इनको देके we will release him from. सब लोग बहुत खुश हो गए, वापस बैठे, अच्छा ठीक है, सिचुएशन सुधर गया. तो बट पता नहीं क्या हुआ, रात को सो रहे थे, एंड व्हाट हैपेंड, बट एट अराउंड 6 in the morning he got again some brain stroke or something, or some heart attack or something, and he died. So then again everyone became very much nervous. तो पूरा जो सोसाइटी था वो काफ़ी स्ट्रांगली कनेक्टेड था, सारे फैमिलीज क्योंकि बचपन से मैं देखा हूँ कि पूरे जो 15-16 घर है वो सब एक ही सेम ही घर है, कोई गया नहीं कोई आया नहीं वैसे। तो बहुत स्ट्रांगली कनेक्टेड था पूरा सोसाइटी में, एकदम पूरा मातम छाया हुआ था, तो कंप्लीट साइलेंस, नो वन वाज स्पीकिंग एनीथिंग। ऑब्वियसली हिज ओन माय फ्रेंड एंड his sister and his mother, everyone was crying like anything. So and then that uncle was some at some good position in BJP. तो उनके जो अंतिम संस्कार वगैरह जो भी था सब उसमें तो 100-150 बीजेपी के बहुत सारे मेंबर्स आए थे अटेंड करने के लिए। सो मेरे अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स आए थे, स्वभाव से ही बहुत अच्छे थे, बहुत सारे और लोग आए थे। सो वेरी वेरी सैड एंड मोमेंट वाज देयर फॉर एवरीवन एंड द फैमिली। जिनके साथ ऐसा हुआ वो तो पागलों की तरह रोज आ रही, मेरा फ्रेंड एंड देन वो सिस्टर एंड ऑल दैट, दे आर क्राइंग लाइक एनीथिंग। सो दिस वाज हैपनिंग एंड अब क्या ही कर सकते, हो गया। Then during that time I was in college, so I could not see all this. I just heard from my mother. But when after a couple of weeks I went to home for some vacation or something for a couple of days. So I saw कि उसके घर में, उसी घर में जिसमें वैसे हुआ मेरे फ्रेंड के घर में, ताबड़तोड़ दबा के रेनोवेशन चल रहा है, तैयारियां चल रही है, रेनोवेशन चल रहा है, घर का रेनोवेशन पूरा। वो पेंट वेंट चल रहा है, टाइल्स लगा रहे, पुट्टी लगा रहे, ये कर रहे, वो कर रहे। And I was like कि अभी जस्ट 2 हफ्ता मुश्किल से हुआ है एंड इतना सारी इतना कैसे कोई कर सकता है, तो ठीक है बाद में पोस्टपोन कर दो। और एंड वी वर श्योर कि डेथ के पहले तो देयर वाज नो प्लान ऑफ रेनोवेशन और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट। वो क्योंकि होता है ना सोसाइटी में बात पता चल जाती है कि हाँ भाई करवाने वाले हम घर में, ऐसे ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं हुआ था। तो ये 2 हफ्ता में तो अगर रेनोवेशन कराना, अगर इतना बड़ा 4-5-6 लाख का कराए थे वो लोग, तो देन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर से बातचीत करना, थोड़ा सा प्लान करना, थोड़ा 2-3 लोग को बुला के बात करना, ये सब करने टाइम तो लगता ही है। तो देख के मेरे को लगा कि ऐसे उनके उनके जाने के 3-4 दिन बाद ही वो शायद चालू कर दिए प्लानिंग कि क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, ये सब। फिर आई जस्ट आस्क्ड माय फ्रेंड के समथिंग, ही वाज द ओनली अर्निंग मेंबर, देयर फादर एंड ही इज लेफ्ट एंड सडनली यू आर डूइंग सच ह्यूज रेनोवेशन ऑल 4-5-6 लाख रुपए महंगा है, फाइनेंस का थोड़ा चिंता नहीं है? नहीं नहीं ऐसा कोई चिंता नहीं है, ये तो माय फादर वेंट, तो उनके LIC का पैसा था, तो LIC का पैसा है उससे पूरा रेनोवेशन करा रहे हैं। सो सच अ पैथेटिक सिचुएशन दैट वाज, जस्ट अ फ्यू वीक्स अगो दे वर क्राइंग लाइक एनीथिंग एंड अभी कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बिंदास एकदम उनके LIC के पैसे से रेनोवेशन चल। शॉकिंग टू मी। Coming to Krishna consciousness. So some materialist he said that if you know how quickly people forget you after you die, you will stop living for others. So we should not live for somebody else. Somebody else in the sense for external validation. We indeed live for devotees. We indeed live for spiritual master. But then not for external validation. One should not just so that 4 लोग क्या सोचेंगे, ये 4 लोग क्या सोचेंगे, ये इससे I do not decide what I'm going to do in my life. That does not guide my life. So I guess we can start the purpose now. So yes, reading from the purpose. We have already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. But there are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagements, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. जैसे आप देखेंगे all the all these various type of even spiritualists, जैसे कर्म योगी है, कर्मीज, ज्ञानी, योगीज, भक्ता, these are 4 kind of spiritualists. So these karmis, they also engage in all occupational duties, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all that. They also do huge yajnas, so much of calling pure brahmanas, and so much of arrangements have to be done. Very difficult to arrange a pure yajna, but they arrange. and but for what gain? They want to go to heaven. They want to either get some riches in this life or else they want to have a better life ahead. They want to go to heaven. This is what the karma is. Then ज्ञानीज, they also do a lot of austerities. ऐसा वो बताते हैं, वो ठंड के मौसम में they will go हिमालय और इतना बर्फ तोड़ के उसके अंदर पानी में घुस के तपस्या करेंगे, या तो सर्दी गर्मी के मौसम में डेजर्ट में जाके चारों तरफ आग जला के सर के ऊपर की आग रख के तपस्या करेंगे. So they also do a lot of tapasya, but then for what gain? They want to become free from misery. उनको फ्री होना चाहिए, उनको टेंशन नहीं चाहिए. They want that, they want to attain Brahma Jyoti, or else they want to merge with God. So they also have a selfish, sense-gratificated desire. Then we have yogis. So yogis also do lot of all that pranayam, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So that also requires a lot of effort, endeavor. But then they have the desire to get the Ashtasiddhis and show off their Ashtasiddhis to others. So this is also material. This is also not a spiritual desire. But it is a devotee only, a bhakta only, who has a completely pure desire. What kind of desires do we hold? We also do a lot of endeavor, but then the desire is very pure. Every day in the morning we sing Seva Adhikar Diye Koruni Vidasi. We just want to become a servant of the devotees of Lord. So we have a very pure desire. So that is so for this purpose, occupational engagement has to be done. Occupational engagement should be done for ultimate liberation, ultimate gain, not for something material. But there may be others. There are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagements are meant for material gain. But this is not the case with the devotees. The general tendency of any ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. So this is very evident. When we go for Buddhist tuition now, they ask, कितना आपको मिलता है पंडित जी, इसमें से कितना आपका रहता है, 20 रुपया 50 रुपया, कितना कमीशन आपका रहता है. Or you go to hostels. So even when I was in my first year, I also heard from many of my batchmates that जो सुमित सर आते हैं ना, इनको पता है मुझे कुछ ना कुछ मिलता होगा, तो ऐसे थोड़ी आता है, ऐसे कोई फ्री में नहीं आता. So they just cannot believe that really someone can do something selflessly in this world. Because and the very fact that they cannot believe it is itself a proof कि उन्होंने आज तक ऐसा selfless person देखा ही नहीं अपनी life. Even their mother, father, parents are not so selfless कि बिना किसी reason के, बिना किसी कारण के they can do something good for them. So but yeah, devotees are without any personal motive, without any personal material gain to try to help us. And therefore even in Vedic literature, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement of material gain is offered. Yeah, material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. Krishna says in Bhagavatam, what is that? Flowery words of Vedas, words. So he tells that don't be attracted to that. Why are such so-called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfy self-gratification. So all this power which we discussed, this power helps us to satisfy our self-gratification. But even this self-gratification is very flawed. There is a lot of flaws. What are the flaws of this self-gratification? There are 5 flaws which Radhachandra mentioned, which you must have also known. There are 5 doshas which material science involves. The first one is the arjan dosha. So somewhat similar to what we discussed before. Parishrama. So to arjan, कुछ अर्जित करने के लिए lot of endeavor has to be put. बहुत ज़्यादा थकना पड़ता है ना. And then second one is himsa dosha. For himsa dosha, when we in the course of working hard and trying to get something, sometimes we may have to lie, sometimes we may have to, company में लोग चुगली करते हैं दूसरे का. So all that stuff happens. Pinch others, we have to pinch others. We just एक तरीका है ऊपर जाने का कि मैं खुद चढ़ के जाऊँ, दूसरा है कि साथ साथ ऊपर चढ़ उनको भी नीचे से इसको उतारा जाए, है ना. So that himsa dosh is always there, and somehow we see that himsa dosh is even though someone may not want to do, but still it's very natural. वो आ ही जाता है. जैसे let's say someone is trying to grow a company, so there is a law in management that every that bhaya wala section, पावर का भय में भी है डिस्कस की वेरी फियरफुल कि चला जाए। तो सेम रक्षण, ये रक्षा करने के लिए उसको बहुत फिर एफर्ट डालना पड़ता है। पहले गाड़ी लाओ, फिर गाड़ी का पार्किंग लाओ। देयर आर मेनी सिटीज जहाँ पे कुछ सालों तक अगर आप गाड़ी का पार्किंग रेंट पे लेते हैं तो वो पार्किंग का कॉस्ट आपकी गाड़ी को क्रॉस कर जाए। सो दैट्स वाई वन है तो जैसे बैंगलोर वगैरह सिटीज है तो उसमें स्पेस इज नॉट सो फ्रीली अवेलेबल ना, तो देन ओनली दे परचेज अ कार ओनली व्हेन दे हैव देयर ओन पार्किंग, अदरवाइज बहुत अच्छा खासा लक्ष्मी। तो रक्षण दोष, रक्षण itself, पहले तो अभी तो चलो ठीक है ऑनलाइन आ गया लक्ष्मी ये सब, बट पहले देयर यूज्ड टू बी बैंक लॉकर्स, आई रिमेंबर इन माय चाइल्डहुड। सो दिस बैंक लॉकर्स वेयर वी कीप cash and gold and all, they charge a huge percentage actually. They charge a good amount, number of amount every year, a few tens of thousands every year to just keep your items safe in bank. और उसमें भी they don't cover, अगर चोरी हो गया तो उसमें से कुछ ही परसेंट they will guarantee, बाकी रेस्ट आपको लॉस भी करना पड़ेगा। तो रक्षण दोष है। एंड देन ये भोग दोष। सो वॉट एवर, चलो ठीक है, हमको हमने परिश्रम किया, हमको थोड़ा बहुत मिला, हमको उसमें से थोड़ा बहुत गुम गया, रक्षण दोष की वजह से थोड़ा सा कि कोई और लेके चला गया, खो गया, बट स्टिल जो थोड़ा बहुत हमारे पास बचा है उसको, जैसे इट्स सो मच डिपेंडेंट ऑन माइंड, इट्स सो मच डिपेंडेंट ऑन मूड। somebody gives comes and gives you gulab jamun, you will become very happy, अरे बहुत बढ़िया गुलाब जामुन, so you picked up the gulab jamun and just you're going to put it in the mouth, and then suddenly someone says that अरे प्रभु जी आप मैथ में फेल हो गए, so now will that gulab jamun taste sweet or bitter? Bitter. So where is enjoyment? That enjoyment is not in the gulab jamun, it's in the mind. So that's why it's very illusory, it's not there actually. And M is miserable, यही संस्पर्श जाब होगा दुख योनि में एवते। As soon as there is a contact of sense object with the senses, it is a yoni of the dukkha. Someone is drinking, now you go and tell him, if you drink, you will suffer. नहीं मैं तो सफर नहीं कर रहा, बहुत मजा आ रहा है, but no, because now the contact between sense and sense object, the tongue and some restricted sense object, liquor, has happened, so that contact itself has now given that content itself has now conceived a child called dukkha. So conception has now happened. Now it will take us some time, maybe a few months, few years, but it's like a time bomb. It will blast someday. Timer has already started. So dukkha will surely come very soon. So this is problem, and so miserable. So miseries will come, and E stands for basically enjoyment. So time, temporary, illusory, material. Sorry, temporary, illusory, miserable, enjoyment. So even this bhoga dosha is also very miserable. And then we have kshaya dosha. So after everything, trying to protect so much, and पहले तो लड़ाई झगड़ा करके हिंसा दोष, अर्जुन दोष, सब कुछ करके लोगों से लिया, उसे बचाने का प्रयास किया, भोगने का प्रयास किया, पर सब कुछ करते करते अल्टीमेटली थिंग्स विल बिकम क्षय। Either the body will fail, or that enjoyment, or you may also be very healthy, that sense object may also be there, but that pleasure, वो pleasure करने का वो पोटेंसी उसमें चला जाएगा, है ना, निकाल नहीं पाएंगे उतने, उसमें से इतना प्लेजर खींच नहीं पाएंगे बाहर। तो that is the kshaya dosha. So these are the flaws of sense gratification. In this purport, Prabhupada basically stresses on this point that when you do some occupational engagements, you will indeed get material gain, but getting material gain is not the purpose of doing that occupational duty. And even when one gets that material gain, one should not use it for sense gratification. But sense gratification के लिए उसको use नहीं करना चाहिए। So further, Prabhupada says that so all sorts of allurements are offered, and why they're offered? Because desires fulfill होंगे, and it in turn satisfies sense gratification. So it may satisfy sense gratification for some time, but then there are so many problems also with this type of sense gratification that we said. So this cycle of occupational engagement include so-called religiosity followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desire. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. But in the statement of Sri Goswami, as per the body division of Bhagavad, this is nullified by the present sloka. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupation service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. So, we were discussing regarding this Karmi, Jnani, and Yogis. So, for all of them, and Bhakta. So, for all of them, uh, Krishna has given that ultimate topmost level. Right? So, what is the topmost level for the Karmis? That is Yat Karos, Yat Asnas, Yat Juhos, Yat Adas, Yat Tapasya, Yat Kaunti, Yat Krishna. Whatever you do for me, whatever Tapasya you do for me. So, that is the topmost for them. For Jnanis, it is Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate. So, again, it comes to Krishna only. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Mahatma Purvana. Then for yogis it is yogi namapi sarvesham bhakti janatma shraddhavan bhajate yogam samayekti kalanam. But the best of the yogis, out of all the yogis, yogi namapi sarvesham madgaten antaratmana, one who dwells in me, shraddhavan bhajate yogam, he worships him with full faith. Samayekti kalanam. That yogi is best united with me. That is, he is united with me in topmost yoga. So for all these karmi jnani yogis, there is a top level which Krishna has given. So even if one wants to practice any of those paths, one has to practice these verses which Krishna has given. And if not, then one is anyway a devotee. That is always the best. For devotees, there are all the shlokas of the devotees in Brahma, and so many others. So so all these and this devotional service is so beautiful that Krishna says that Susukham Kartum Avya. This path is very easy to follow. So the journey is also very simple, easy, very blissful. Then the destination which is promised is anyways very blissful. And even if one does not get that sense, that desired destination, then Krishna promises Suchinam Shivatam Gehe Yoga Prashtavijayati, that one will get a birth in a good family, of an aristocratic family or a Brahmana family, and one can, so that one can practice bhakti. So, what is the problem? There is a problem. There is for sense certification, there are so many problems. Arjan dosha, himsa dosha, rakshan dosha, bhoga dosha, shaya dosha. There are for other such so-called spiritual practices of karma, jnana, yoga. That also has a lot of flaws. That is also material. That is also selfish. But it is devotional service only, which is absolutely selfless, and which the process itself gives a lot of joy. And that's why we all of us are also practicing, because some happiness, some joy is there. So that is why this last line is told, nor should the material gain be utilized for sense gratification. So material gain we will get even when we render various services. We will get a lot of facilities and so many material. We may get some money to deal with, or we may get followers to get the service done. So all this, the money, the followers, the facilities, should not be used for one's own gain, or should not be used for one's own sense gratification. So because we are engaged in topmost occupational duty, which is devotional service, so we will get material gain. We will get some gain for sure. Even normal dharma, kama, moksha to lage unko material gain milta hai. So we are in devotional service. We will also get some material gain, but that should not be used in for our own sense gratification. That should be used for that. Let us keep that for the next speaker, because Prabhupada himself has ended over here only. He says how material gain should be utilized is described as follows in the next. So tomorrow, the next devotee will tell us how that material gain has to be utilized. But today we will discuss why this material gain should not be utilized for sense gratification. That's what the purport says, that the Brahma should not be performed for material gain. So when we are rendering services, being in temple, we should not expect that some gain has to come only. No, it may come, it may not come. Some facilities may be provided, may not be provided. depending upon whether we need or not. But mostly it will come. When it comes, one should not use for sense certificate. When how one should use that we will see tomorrow, but one should not use for sense certificate. We will stop here. Any questions?
Hare Krishna. Awesome class, was very nice. This is a new way of new prospect that you explained this Apavarga with different dosas. That was very nice. So, but one question I have, you initiate at the beginning of the class, you told that Krishna, we don't do hard work because Krishna also doesn't do hard work. Because of that reason, we also have the tendency not to do hard work. But if we see their devotees, they are working very hard in any places. Just like Prabhupada's one famous clippings was there. The reporter was telling, "You are not doing hard work." The Prabhupada is telling, "Who told we are not doing hard work? We are doing more than you. We are 24 hours. We are working hard." And also in spiritual world, also you'll see we see that there's so many devotees, they're working hard to bring pleasure to Krishna. So in that direction, if we see, just wanted to clarify this thing. That's why asking, like, is this the statement is like that? Working hard, Krishna doesn't work hard, so that's why jivas also don't work hard. But we can see that jivas are working hard. Is that the right statement?
Yeah, because Prabhupada, who has told that we are working harder than you, that same Prabhupada has also told that rich man's son don't work. So you also join us. You know? Prabhupada ने बोला है. And in fact Prabhupada ने same इसी lecture में बोला हुआ कि same thing which I told. So I can send the reference. Prabhupada says that we don't have a tendency to work hard because Krishna also does not work hard. And he quotes tens of shlokas from Brahma Samhita, here explanation and all that, where all the contradictory shlokas are quoted. That जैसे उस दिन था ना, Maharaj was telling that everything rests upon Krishna, but the next verse Krishna is telling that nothing rests upon me. It means तो सब बहुत सारे contradictory श्लोका प्रभात कोट करते हैं कि everything Krishna is only doing, but still Krishna is doing nothing except for just enjoying. So just like so anything that is coming into us, that has to come from Krishna only, from no other source. So if there is a desire to be lazy, that is also coming from Krishna. But now the problem is because it's a reflection, so their desire to be lazy and to just enjoy may be glorious, but here desire to be lazy and just enjoy is very condemnable. Condemned.
Will that be glorious? I don't know. Just like, will that be glorious if a devotee goes there in spiritual world with that understanding that I will be lazy?
Yeah, so,
they'll be sent back.
Correct. So this parishram which we discussed is hard work. This was the hard work from material labor, and this hard work produces a lot of pain. It produces a lot of pain, gives a lot of pain. But when devotee, and see, that's why the progress is तरह से होता है ना. सबसे पहले we are frustrated with this material world, so we come to devotee association for some peace, which somewhat translates to laziness. Then when we become devotees and we know more about Krishna and his services and we want to please, then we go to the stage that we are ready to work hard, just like another karmi, just to please Krishna.
I guess the right statement can be like that: working hard for material sense enjoyment is wrong, but working hard for spiritual sense gratification of Krishna or spiritual causes, that is because Krishna doesn't work hard for material sense gratification. That's why we don't also have that.
Yes. Correct. Done?
So you beautifully explained to how Apavarga, this Pavarga, and so telling that we generally look for external validation and this and that. So you nicely mentioned actually that everybody is potential, but he has a ceiling also. So sometimes it becomes very difficult for ourselves also. Is this really my potential, or कहाँ ceiling है, कहाँ potential है? और either when we see devotees below us तो उनका क्या potential है, क्या उनका ceiling है. So this becomes very difficult. Forget others at least for ourselves so that we can progress nicely in bhakti.
Yes.
So if you can put some light on this.
So the question is that how to understand what is our ceiling?
What is our ceiling
Yeah.
and what is potential also?
What is
Because
potential?
because sometimes we think I can do it, but actually oh hen. And sometimes we are able to do that, but we are not putting our effort because we are lazy.
Yeah.
But so how to exactly know that? Exactly तो मुश्किल है फिर भी, but to some extent.
So by default, everyone should consider that I have infinite potential, just like Krishna has, and there is no ceiling. Sky is a ceiling. You know? One should consider that, and one should work for Krishna in that way. And but obviously, sky is not the ceiling. There is somewhere some ceiling, probably at the 100th floor, or the height of Eiffel Tower, or the height of Burj Khalifa. Somewhere ceiling is there. So how can we realize that okay, I have reached my ceiling? When we become too much disturbed कि यार और एफर्ट डाल रहा हूँ अब उस एफर्ट डालने से वो ये था ना जो कल प्रभुजी बता रहे थे कि instead of getting attraction for message of personality we call it, I am becoming more frustrated. I am becoming frustrated by the association of devotees. I am becoming frustrated by the morning program and other spiritual activities. And better सब छोड़ छाड़ के चला जाता है. जब ऐसा लगने लगे कि छोड़ के सब वृंदावन चल जाते हैं, बैठ के केवल माला करेंगे, so that means वो ceiling up आ चुकी है. So at that point we can stop. And ये बात तो है ही कि भाई spiritual masters मेरे से anything कर तो सीलिंग पोटेंशियल सब कुछ हाई हो ही सकता है बिल्कुल. So that's why generally what I think or I consider is that if anything is being told then it means I have the potential to do. ऐसा मान के चलना चाहिए सबको and give it a try. And then either the authorities themselves will tell बहुत हो गया, बहुत समय बात करते हैं, ऐसे ढंग का सेवा चलिए इसमें कुछ होता है, या तो फिर हम खुद ही बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाएंगे फिर यार नहीं ठीक है आई ग्रो इट टू सम एक्सटेंट बट इससे ज़्यादा नहीं हो पा रहा. सो दैट फ्रस्ट्रेशन कैन बी आवर सीलिंग, है ना. तो क्योंकि ऐसा अपना बलि दे के मिशन ग्रो करना ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है. तो इसलिए when one starts becoming frustrated, that time one can understand that this is my ceiling, then one can be only on that. Authorities also will understand हाँ this is ceiling. अब अगर उनसे ज़्यादा किसी को चाहिए तो किसी और को रखेंगे या थोड़ा सा और इंस्पायर करने की कोशिश करेंगे, थोड़ा सा फिर थोड़ा सा आपको लगे नहीं मेरा सीधा और ऊपर है फिर वन सेकेंड विल गिव इट ट्राई. थैंक यू वेरी मच. जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. गौतम